Hi, my name is Zoe. Please like and subscribe. I have no idea where I was born or who my parents really were. All I ever knew was my orphanage and the kids there. But once when I was 5, I saw a magazine in a trash bin and I fished it out. As I flipped the pages, I came across a picture of a beautiful couple. They looked perfect. I was certain my parents looked like that. I cut out the picture and tucked it under my pillow. The next day, a couple came to the orphanage and the head mother took me to meet them. I looked at their faces and remembered the photo in the magazine. Nah, I'm not going with them. And with that, I ran off to hide. Basically, after that, I refused to get adopted till I met a couple of my dreams. By the time I was in 1st grade, most of my friends had left. One night, as I was looking out the window at the stars, I spotted some paint cans and brushes by a wall. I climbed down and started painting on the side of the building. I thought it looked really good, but the next morning I woke up to the head mother's screams.
I want everyone downstairs now.
As I joined the rest outside, she pointed at my painting.
Which one of you brats made this nonsense? Speak up.
Just then, a car drove up to the orphanage and I was shocked. It was a beautiful couple, exactly like the one in my picture. Okay, not exactly, but close enough. Suddenly the woman said,
"Oh wow, who painted this wall mural?"
Me. It was me. The head mother turned purple while the couple told me I was so talented and then they adopted me. When we reached their house, my jaw dropped. It looked more like a palace. They took me to my beautiful room and a maid walked in with paints and brushes.
You can paint the walls however you like, sweetheart. Go crazy.
For the next 2 years, I lived my best life. Grand birthdays, party on yachts, exotic vacations. My parents kept me by their side and were always boasting to their friends about how talented I was. I felt truly loved. Then one day in 3rd grade, I went downstairs to find them crying. Mom, Dad, what's wrong?
Oh, darling, these are happy tears. I'm pregnant after trying for 10 years. I can't believe this is happening.
It would be awesome to have a sibling. I fell in love with baby Polly at first sight while she and Mom were resting in the hospital room and went to the vending machine to get candy. But when I returned, the room was empty. I ran to the reception, and the lady there said that my family had just checked out. Wait, what? I felt panic rise in my chest. Just then, a kind-looking doctor approached me.
Sweetheart, is everything okay?
I got lost. Can you take me home, please? The lady dropped me home, and I stormed off inside. I found my parents in my room, and all my stuff was outside. Mom, Dad, I'm here.
Good to know. Why are you announcing it?
Hello, you guys forgot me at the hospital.
No, I didn't. Did you hit your head somewhere? And can you please pick up your stuff?
Turns out my parents had decided to convert my room to Polly's nursery, and I was shifted to the room in the other wing of the house. As Polly grew older, she had my parents wrapped around her little finger. Once when she was 2, we were having dinner when she jumped onto the table and pushed my bowl of hot soup onto my lap. Gosh, Polly, what's wrong with you?
Don't talk to her like that. She's just a baby. She doesn't know what she's doing.
As I stormed off to change, I didn't feel too sure about that. By the time Polly was 4, my parents felt worried because she still only spoke in her baby language. One time when I was watching television, she suddenly climbed onto the couch.
Zoe, I hate you. You're disgusting.
What? What did you just say?
You heard me.
And with that, she smiled and started watching television. Just then, Mom and Dad walked in and I shouted, "You won't believe this. Polly can talk like proper words."
What? Oh, my baby, I missed it. What did she say?
She said she hates me and I'm disgusting.
Wow, Zoe, really? She just started talking and she's saying words like disgusting rubbish?
I swear.
Oh, be quiet, Polly. If you can talk, say, "I love you, mommy."
Hifkihi.
You've got us excited over nothing. Zoe, I don't know why you're turning into such a brat.
Oh my god. I was convinced my baby sister was a psychopath. One night I looked at the symptoms of psychopaths online and they were usually highly intelligent and used big words from a young age. Polly seemed to fit the description perfectly. She started talking properly in front of everyone soon, but that just made things worse. When I was in 11th grade and Polly was 8, my parents decided to host a grand New Year's party. As I was getting dressed, I looked up in the mirror to see Polly standing behind me holding a pair of scissors. Hey, that's dangerous. Give it to me.
You didn't say please.
Then she suddenly chopped off the lock of hair. Oh my god, why'd you do that?
You will see.
And suddenly her bottom lip started to quiver and tears welled up in her eyes.
Mom, Dad, look like Zoe did. My beautiful curl. This is a treasure.
Mom and Dad came running and they were beyond furious. They wouldn't even listen to me.
We know you're jealous of Polly, but we never thought you'd go this far.
Sometimes I wonder if we made a mistake adopting you.
Sometimes, I think I made a mistake too, thinking you were the perfect parents. With that, I ran off to the park across the street. I was sitting on the swings when someone joined me.
Hey, is everything okay? Why are you here by yourself at night?
I live right across the street and I'm fine. Why are you here?
Oh, I just moved here with my aunt in the house next to that huge mansion.
I felt myself warming up to his kind face, but just then my tummy let out a loud growl. God, how embarrassing. But he didn't laugh. He just leapt off the swing and said,
I got to head home for dinner. Would you like to join me and my aunt?
When I got to his house, I was in for a surprise. His aunt was that doctor who dropped me from the hospital years ago, and she actually recognized me. As Lucas walked me back home, a clock somewhere struck midnight and fireworks exploded all over the sky. Happy New Year. He suddenly took my hand and my heart raced a little.
Everyone should have someone to kiss on New Year's Eve. Happy New Year, Zoey.
He pulled me closer and they leaned in for a kiss. My parents decided to give me the silent treatment for the next few weeks. But I didn't care. I'd spend all my time after school painting my room or hanging out at Lucas's place. We'd started dating and I was loving every second of it. One night, I let Lucas in through my window and we were making out when suddenly we heard the lock on the door click and someone flung it open. It was Polly. Oh my God, how did you open the door?
I have keys to all the rooms, duh. I come here all the time, so why are you keeping your boyfriend a secret from me?
You're seriously asking why? Maybe because you're a complete psycho and you'll find a way to ruin anything good in my life.
Jeez, you're so melodramatic. So Mystery, how soon can you marry Zoey and take her away?
What? I can't marry her right now, but...
Wrong answer.
And with that, she fled the room. 2 minutes later, my parents burst in to find me sleeping peacefully.
Where's the boy?
What? What boy?
Polly said, you had a boy in your room.
While I was sleeping, so I don't know what crazy Polly saw. Go ahead and look. My parents searched my room, and the servants searched the grounds and found nothing. After they finally left, Mystery appeared right after that. That Polly thought she knew everything, but I've been here longer than her. But to my horror, the door flung open again, and my parents and Polly were standing there. How does she even know? All hell broke loose as my parents called over Lucas's aunt and threatened to hand him to the police for breaking in.
Please, sir, it won't happen again.
You bet it won't. Do you even know who I am? Stay away from my house or you'll regret it.
As Lucas's aunt dragged him off, Dad turned to me.
You're grounded for eternity. God knows what kind of people your parents were because you seem like a really bad egg.
Well, by that logic, your parents must have been big jerks.
How dare you talk like that after everything we've done for you? You're just an orphan no one wanted and we saved you from that miserable place.
No, you took me because you just wanted a talented child to show off, but since Polly came, you've reminded me every day that I'm not your kid. As I paced around my room furiously, my eyes fell on a stuffed teddy bear on the shelf. It was the only present Polly had given me once, and suddenly I had a realization why. I pulled out the teddy bear's eyes and I saw what I'd suspected. There was a tiny camera behind one of them. Polly had been using it to spy on me. I looked straight into the camera. Polly, you're a creep, but this is the last time you'll mess with me. And with that, I ripped it out and smashed it with my foot. That night I packed my paintings and climbed out the window, leaving the house behind forever, and it felt good. But I didn't go to Lucas and went back to the orphanage.
Well, I just knew you'd be back one day. You can stay, but you'll have to earn your keep.
I started teaching kids in the orphanage and I felt happier than I had in ages. One day, as I was going to class, a car drove up and I was shocked to see Lucas and his aunt. Lucas ran to me and gave me a bear hug.
Zoey, Mystery, and I were wondering, would it be okay if I officially adopted you?
Thank you for that, but I don't need a parent. I can take care of myself. I'm just happy to have you as my friend. I kept dating Lucas while I worked my way through college. Soon after my graduation, he went down on one knee with a ring, and of course I said yes. We got married in a small ceremony, but I made sure to invite all the kids from the orphanage. We had the sweetest wedding day ever. A year later, I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy, and my heart soared with joy. I'll work hard to give you the best life possible, and I'll make you always know that you're truly, truly loved. True love cannot be bought with material things. Everyone deserves to be loved and valued. Independence and self-belief are the keys to overcoming challenges and finding happiness.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and my mom is my best friend. She's amazing. She's a doctor, and she's raising me all by herself. She gives me everything I could want and need. I want to be just like her when I grow up. Do you look up to your mom too? Please don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks! I couldn't wait for school to end. It was my birthday the next day, and Mom said that I was going to get the newest smartwatch after her shift at the hospital, a few blocks away from the mall, when her phone rang.
Dr. Johnson.
A panicky voice from the car speaker said,
Jade is giving birth right now. We're not going to make it to the hospital.
Mom quickly turned a corner. She told the man that she was on her way.
Sorry, honey. It's a good thing that we're close to their house. We can go shopping after.
I quickly nodded. My mom made another call and instructed the hospital to send an ambulance right away. Mom stopped the car and jumped out. I followed her into the house. A very pregnant woman was kneeling beside the couch, and there was a puddle of water under her legs. Mom ran over to the woman and asked her husband for some clean towels.
It's all right, Jade. I'm here, and it's time for you to push.
I watched in awe by the door. The woman was crying and pushing and screaming. Her husband was sweating and running around with a ton of towels. It was chaos. My mom was the only calm person in the room. Suddenly, I heard another sound break through the screens and pants. It was the sound of a crying baby.
She's here. Your daughter has arrived.
Mrs. Jade gasped when my mom handed her the baby. My jaw dropped when I realized that I'd just seen one being born. It was scary and incredible at the same time. The ambulance arrived a few minutes later, and my mom gently patted Jade's hand.
Everything's fine.
She added with a gentle smile.
I'll check in on you at the hospital.
We headed back to our own car. Mom said that we'd have to go home first so she could change.
Are you all right, honey? You look pale.
I guess I did. I was still in shock. You were amazing, Mom. You didn't freak out at all. That woman looked like she was in so much pain. But the moment you handed her the baby, it seemed like she forgot about everything else. My mom squeezed my hand.
That's how I felt when I gave birth to you. It's joy and pain all at once, and it's all worth it, especially if your child ends up being a wonderful daughter like you.
She added that around 250 babies are born every minute. Wow, that means that there are 250 soon-to-be mothers going into labor right now. I gasped. No wonder my mom was doing so well as an obstetrician. She delivered a new baby every few days. Mom headed for the shower as soon as we got home. While I waited for her, the phone rang. It was my dad. You're not going to believe what I saw today. And I told him about watching my mom do her work. Dad laughed and proudly proclaimed that my mom was amazing.
When your brother Josh was born, Emma was screaming and miserable too, until she held him in his arms. When can you come and visit anyway? He misses you already.
I promised that I would visit my dad and his new family soon. I loved playing with my half-brother Josh. He was so cute. My dad's wife Emma wasn't so bad, but it still bugged me that my parents had never married and Emma wasn't half as amazing as my mom. After a few weeks, Mom came home looking very excited.
I got promoted. I'm going to be head of the department.
I was so happy for her. And when I found out she wasn't going to be working as much, I was so happy for me too. It meant that we could spend more time together. It was great. We had picnics and played frisbee in the front yard. I was standing by the porch when the frisbee came whizzing my way. I jumped, but I must have landed wrong. The next thing I knew, a lump appeared on my forehead.
Sarah!
Mom cried as she ran towards me. I think I hit my head on the edge of the step. It really hurts. Mom cleaned up my wound. She said it wasn't deep and I just needed to apply pressure to it. She made me some of my favorite mac and cheese and sent me to bed early that night. I remember thinking that I was the luckiest girl in the world for having such an amazing mother. But sadly, our fun times ended that day. The next few months were busy time at the hospital. Mom was rarely home. She left early and came home late. I started to complain about never seeing her anymore. She still keeps giving me gifts, but I didn't want a new camera or another new phone. I just wanted her. I couldn't talk to her anymore because she never had time for me. When I turned 14, things got even worse. Mom couldn't be with me on my birthday. I had to stay with my dad for a few days while Mom was at a conference. I could see that Emma was trying to be nice, but I didn't want her. I wanted my mom.
I made your favorite, mac and cheese.
She proudly said. I took a bite, but I spit it out immediately. Ew! This tastes gross. It's not like Mom's mac and cheese at all. Dad got mad when I said that I gave him the side eye while he and Emma played with little Josh. If he hadn't married that awful Emma, he would have married my mom, and maybe she wouldn't have to work so hard all the time. I was counting down the hours until Mom arrived to pick me up. Then the phone rang. It was Mom, but she said she was running late. I got so mad at her for making me wait again. When I get home, she said,
we'll go on a vacation, just the two of us, okay? I promise. You're gonna have a great time.
But I was sick of her promises. I don't believe you anymore. I don't care if you don't ever come home. When you're here, you don't even notice me. I wish you weren't my mother. I slammed the phone down and ran to my room. I was so mad at everyone. Dad tried to talk to me, but I didn't open the door. Finally, he left, but after an hour, he was back again.
Sarah!
He cried with a voice I'd never heard him use before.
We have to go to the hospital.
I couldn't believe my ears when he explained that Mom was in the hospital. She had gotten into a car crash just an hour ago. But I just talked to her. I cried. I was so scared the whole time in the waiting room. I was terrified for my mom. And deep down, I knew it was my fault. Mom probably got so upset after I screamed at her. That was the reason she got into a crash. I wanted to tell her that I didn't mean what I said. I wanted to tell her that I loved her so much they wouldn't even let me see her. An hour later, finally, a doctor came out and talked to us.
I'm sorry, she's in a bad way. We're doing everything we can, but I don't think it's going to be enough. You have to prepare yourself for the worst.
I turned to my dad. Well, what did he mean by that? I gasped. Dad couldn't even look me in the eye. He quietly told me to pray for Mom. I couldn't take it anymore. I knew my mom was suffering, and it was all my fault. I couldn't stop the tears. I stumbled away and ran as fast as my legs could take me to the exit. Outside, I found myself by a bus stop, and I got on the first bus that passed, not caring where it took me, as long as it was far away from here. Hours passed into days. I can't remember how I got where I was. The only real thing I felt was the hard bench I slept on and the gaping hole in my chest where my heart used to be. I was to blame for everything. It hurt so much to remember the last thing I said to her. How could I be such a terrible person after everything my mom had done for me? I was just sitting and staring into space when I heard the scream. Right in front of me, sprawled on the curb, was an older girl with a bleeding forehead. I jumped up and ran over to her. Hold still. Let me check if it's deep. Thankfully, the wound was shallow. I took off my jacket and told the girl to apply pressure on it. Then I asked if there was a place where we could wash it.
I sleep in the women's shelter. It's just a few blocks away.
The shelter was a dirty place, and it was very crowded. But at least there was running water and soap in the bathroom. After a while, the girl calmed down.
Thanks, I was so scared I thought I'd split my skull open.
For the first time in a long time, I smiled. It felt nice to help someone.
Do you have a place to stay? My name is Maggie. You can stay in the shelter with me if you want.
Maggie and I became friends. She brought me to a soup kitchen where we ate a hot meal. She led me to a church basement so I could find a jacket. Maggie was nice, and for a while I forgot that I was homeless and alone. But no matter what I did, I could never forget the last words I ever spoke to my mom. I told Maggie that I ran away, but I didn't tell her why. Life went on that way for a long time. It was hard to accept my new life, but I had no other choice. The shelter was always full of girls who had run away or who were in trouble. There was a young mom named Stella who had a little boy. She said that she used to have a small apartment and that she worked 3 jobs just to pay for rent and food. But it wasn't enough. She lost her home, and now she was struggling to feed her little boy.
But no matter where we end up, as long as my baby Jasper is with me, we'll be fine.
I couldn't help but think about my mom when I looked at her. Mom worked so hard just to give me a good life. But I could see now that I was ungrateful, spoiled, and mean. If I'd been a better daughter, I would still be with her. A few months later, I noticed that Maggie had started throwing up a lot. At first, I thought she had food poisoning. It's not the food.
I think I'm pregnant.
I was shocked. Maggie was just a few years older than me. How was she going to have a baby in this situation? Poor Maggie was miserable the whole time. She was too tired and too weak to do anything. All she did was sleep while her belly grew bigger. I did everything I could just to make life easier for her, but Maggie was having a really hard time with her pregnancy. Thankfully, the shelter allowed her to stay. They told me that I could stay for as long as I liked too. But that was because I was the only one who could tie a bandage or examine the injuries of girls who just arrived. We became family, but I never really belonged there. Monsters like me don't deserve to belong anywhere. Another few months went by. Then one night, Maggie woke up everyone with her screams.
It hurt so bad.
She yelled. The other girls shrink back in fear, but I couldn't. Maggie was my friend. I held her hand while she screamed in pain. Then her water broke.
How? I think the baby is coming now.
I was terrified, but I was the only one who could help her. I asked the girls to find clean towels. As I looked at Maggie's anguished face, I remembered the other woman, Jade. My mom delivered her baby in the living room. It's all right, Maggie. I'm here, and it's time for you to push. She did, over and over again. In a matter of minutes, the baby came. I wrapped the baby in a clean towel and handed it to her. Like Jade, she forgot that she had just been screaming a few seconds ago. She forgot that she was in a shelter. She forgot that she was broke. All that mattered was that little baby in her arms. I couldn't believe what I'd just done. And I couldn't believe the transformation on Maggie's face. I was so relieved when someone said that the ambulance was here. Maggie kept insisting that I go to the hospital with her. Then the doctors checked her and the baby out. After a few moments, the doctor came to talk to me.
Maggie said that you delivered her baby. How old are you?
I told her I was only 16. To be honest, I was so scared. It happened so quickly, but now I'm just exhausted. The doctor laughed and told me that I did a good job. I felt really proud. Then I wondered if my mom would have been proud of me too if she knew. Maggie went back to the shelter a few days later. She kept thanking me, and she said she'd name the baby after me. She also went back to her parents' house. It was different now that little Sarah was here. Then she told me that a TV news crew had interviewed her at the hospital, and that's how her parents had found her. I think that's how my dad found me too. He and Emma arrived a few days later to take me home. My dad hugged me so tightly. I wanted to tell him about everything that had happened, but no words came out. I could only cry. Emma wiped away my tears.
It's time to go home now, Sarah.
And I nodded. So we got back into the car and drove home. But after a few hours, I realized that we weren't going back to their house. We were on a long road with big longs on both sides of the street. My breath caught in my throat. It looked like we were driving to the cemetery. I can't do this right now, I said, and I began to panic. My dad was firm.
It's time to face it. You've run away long enough.
I wanted to apologize to my mom, but I didn't think I was ready to see her grave.
Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry.
Dad parked the car, and they led me towards a building. I was confused. Why was there a building in the middle of a cemetery? We walked down a series of corridors and knocked on a door. It took some time for it to open, but when it did, I gasped. Mom was inside. She was very thin, but she was alive. I'm so sorry. I gasped and I ran to hug her.
You've gotten so big. I was so worried about you. Please don't blame yourself for the accident,
Mom said, while she stroked my cheek.
A car crashed into mine while I was driving home. I can't walk anymore. But it's not your fault, Sarah.
Suddenly, Mom made a fist and banged it on the bed.
How I wish I could take care of you, but I can barely take care of myself.
I took Mom's hand. Even in her state, her main concern was taking care of me. Then everything I saw about mothers and their children flashed through my mind. Emma with Josh, Stella with her son, and even Maggie with her new daughter. Mom, it's time to go home together. You looked after me better than any mom ever could, and now it's time for me to do the same for you.
Hi, I'm Rapunzel from Armenia. Please like and subscribe. When I was little, my mom and I moved a lot. We changed towns every few months. And I couldn't help noticing that I was different from the people around me, even Mom. Everyone had dark eyes and hair, so my blonde curls and green eyes attracted attention.
Wow, she's so precious! And well, she looks nothing like you. Is she really yours?
Mom always smiled and said I looked like my dad, but I knew she didn't like the comments. And soon, we moved again.
Don't look at anyone directly. And never take your hoodie off outside. People get jealous of your beauty. Love.
I was 6 when Mom started working as a cook in a mansion, and she told me strictly to never leave the kitchen. One afternoon, Mom had gone out for groceries when a tall woman walked in, and she stopped short when she saw me.
Aren't you a beautiful little girl? Why don't you come with me, honey?
As I was in her living room eating cakes and chatting nonstop, Mom came bursting in.
There you are. I've been looking for you everywhere. Sorry, mistress.
Oh no. I brought her here. From now on, she'll spend time with me while you work.
Mom wasn't happy at all, but I'd have the best time. The mistress helped me with my reading and gave me lovely gifts. But a few weeks later, she said she wanted to adopt me.
I can give her every luxury in the world. Her life will be 1,000 times better. As my daughter.
How can you even ask this, ma'am, to part with my own child? I would never.
You fool! If you truly cared about her, you'd let her have the life she deserves. Also, I looked up your records and there's no birth certificate for any child of yours. Leave her with me and we can keep all our little secrets.
She reached out for my hand, but I grabbed hers and bit it hard. She screamed as Mom and I ran.
Pack your things quickly, hurry!
And so we left. But this time we kept traveling till we reached some docks late at night.
We're leaving for the US, darling. We'll never know any peace here.
Someone Mom knew helped us sneak onto a cargo ship, and we left to start a new life in New York. We spent the first few months in a homeless shelter, but Mom found a job at a restaurant soon, and we could afford a small place. Mom even let me join the public school after changing my name. When I asked why, she said it was for my own good. And I didn't ask anymore. Even though I didn't really stand out here, people still admired my looks. In 5th grade, my friend Melissa, who participated in beauty pageants, told me to try out too. The prize money was good, so I begged Mom to let me join, and I soon became a pageant queen. And modeling offers started pouring in. By the time I was in high school, I'd done my first national ad for a shampoo, and my face was on a billboard. One morning in 10th grade, I walked into the school hallway to see some kids gathered around a boy. He turned his face, and I caught my breath. He was beautiful. He threw his head back and laughed at something, and it was the most captivating sound in the world. Suddenly, our eyes met, and I realized I'd been staring at him like a moron. But I had to find out who he was. I walked into class to find all the girls talking about this handsome new stranger. Just then, we heard a loud groan.
Jeez. I'll tell you who he is if you give me $20 each. And for $50, I'll introduce you gals to him. He's my brother.
The new boy introduced himself as Derek and said his brother Ryder was our senior. Just then, the teacher walked in, and everyone flew to their seats. I caught Derek looking at me, and he smiled. He was cute, but his brother was a Greek god. One day, I had to reach a modeling audition after school, and as I quickly crossed the road, my heel got stuck in a chewed gum. As I struggled to set it loose, I looked up to see a motorcyclist charging straight at me. But suddenly, someone pushed me out of the way. I opened my eyes to see Ryder looking down at me.
Hey, are you okay?
I think so. Nope, I feel dizzy. Ryder swept me up effortlessly and carried me to his car. He took me to the hospital, and it turned out I had a minor concussion.
Your mom's on the way, I called her.
Thank you. I am so lucky you were right there.
Well, it wasn't a coincidence. I was actually following you to ask you out.
Really?
Why do you sound surprised? I can't be your first admirer. You just might be the most beautiful girl I've ever met, Rapunzel.
He touched my cheek and my heart fluttered. Just then, Mom walked in, and she couldn't stop thanking Ryder. I was discharged soon, and he even dropped us off at home. Ryder and I started dating, and the next few weeks were like a dream. He was intelligent and thoughtful and always knew how to make me laugh. We were the golden couple of the school. A few days later, I got paired with Derek for a science project, and we met up at the library to discuss it. It's funny, we've hardly spoken before, especially since you're in my class and I'm dating your brother.
Well, Ryder has that effect on girls. They fall head over heels for him and see nothing else.
That's not true, and I'd like to get to know you. Let's all have dinner sometime.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. Listen, Rapunzel, there's something...
What's going on here?
Hey, we're working on our project, and I was just...
He's your project partner? No, that won't work. I'll talk to your teacher and have your partner changed.
What? This is none of your business, dude.
It's very much my business, dude. I don't want my girlfriend to fail, which she will with you.
Derek looked furious and stormed off. Ryder, you can't tell me who to be partners with. And what's wrong with your brother?
Listen, babe, you don't know him. He's not serious about anything. And he just thinks he'll inherit millions one day without lifting a finger. I'm already working with Dad and his company, and freeloaders like Derek just bother me. Trust me, he's gonna make you do all the work and just take credit for it in the end. Just ask your teacher to change your partner, please.
Derek didn't seem like that, but Ryder knew his brother better, and he looked upset. So I requested the teacher for a partner change the next day. Life was good, except that lately, I'd been getting rejected after auditions, and Melissa had gotten a few ad campaigns I'd really wanted. But she was my friend, and I was happy for her. We were at a party together one evening, and I noticed Ryder was really quiet on the way home. Hey, you worried about something?
Yeah, just you, babe. You trust people way too easily.
What do you mean?
You don't think it's strange that Melissa has suddenly been getting every single commercial? She's rich. What if her mom paid bribes to get her those parts?
What? No! Melissa would never do that. She's the one who got me into modeling.
And she probably regrets it now since you've been doing so much better than her. Jealousy can really change people, Rapunzel. Trust me, I know.
His words made me uneasy, but I decided to ignore him. But a few days later, Melissa and I were at an audition for a lipstick commercial, and she kept forgetting her lines. I had a flawless audition, so I was shocked when Melissa was selected again.
Hey, I was so sure you'd get that.
Yeah, me too!
Wait, why do you sound mad at me? I'm just as surprised.
Oh, drop the act! It makes no sense you'd get selected unless you paid your way in.
What, are you crazy?
I can't believe you'd stoop so low. Ryder was right.
He said this about me? Rapunzel, you've known me since we were kids. Why are you letting this guy?
He's my boyfriend! And he's clearly less naive than I am. Melissa and my other friend stopped talking to me after that, and it just made me angrier that they all took her side. Thank God I had Ryder. Soon it was our 2-month anniversary, and Ryder wanted to celebrate in style by taking me out on a date to a classy French restaurant.
I want you to sit on this side, facing just me. I don't want anyone else to admire your beauty tonight.
That's a bit weird and so cheesy.
It's just how I feel. And here's your present.
Ryder, you've already done so much. I gasped as I stared at a gorgeous amber necklace.
See? How could I not get that? It's like it's made for you, Amber.
My heart was pounding as he put it around my neck. Why? Why did you just call me Amber?
Did I? Obviously a mistake, Rapunzel. Now shall we order?
I felt so distracted that I could barely read the menu. I needed some air. I excused myself to go to the bathroom, but just as I got up, I bumped into the waiter bringing our drinks.
Oh, I am so sorry, madame.
No, it was my mistake. Here, let me help you.
Oh, please, don't worry about it. I'll get you some drinks.
As he ran off, Ryder turned to me coldly.
Why were you flirting with the waiter?
What? I was just trying to be nice. But suddenly Ryder swiped all the plates off our table.
Don't play me for a fool. You kept touching his arm.
You're insane. I'm leaving. I ran out of the restaurant and looked around for a cab, but Ryder caught up with me.
If you walk away now, I'll make your life miserable, Amber.
Why do you keep calling me that? Just stop it.
Ha ha ha! Because that was your name before you came here, wasn't it? I know all about your past and you can't escape it. Yeah, I'll have you and your mother deported to Armenia and...
Suddenly, Ryder tripped over something and fell down, hitting his head. I frantically called an ambulance and used Ryder's phone to call Derek to the hospital.
What happened?
He tripped over something. The doctors say he'll be fine, but I can't stay here another minute.
Rapunzel, what really happened?
I broke down and told him how crazy Ryder had acted in the restaurant.
I wanted to warn you! You're not the first girl he's done this with. He's the perfect boyfriend at first, but then he gets so jealous and scares every girl away.
It's not just that. Derek, he knows things about me and he's threatening to ruin Mom's life and mine.
If you tell me what it is, maybe I can help you.
Derek, I need to talk to Mom first.
Of course, and you need to be sure you can trust me.
I looked into his warm brown eyes, and I felt I could. So the next day, I asked Derek to come to my place, and Mom told him everything.
I'm not Rapunzel's mother, I'm her aunt. Rapunzel's parents passed away when she was a baby, and I was her guardian in their will. But her other aunt and uncle kept insisting that I give Rapunzel to them. They only wanted her because of all the money in her name. They were powerful people, and I knew they'd keep trying to take Rapunzel away from me. So I ran away with her. We traveled far, but I'd always felt they'd find us. Then we came here and changed our names, and it seemed like we'd finally left everything behind. Until now.
We can't go back there, Derek.
I'll do everything I can, I promise.
I couldn't bear to go to school for the next few days. I felt sick with anxiety. Then finally, one evening, Derek showed up, and he was smiling.
My lawyer worked on your case. And given how long you guys have lived and worked in the US, your status will be made legal immediately. You can't be deported. No one's going anywhere.
Mom and I cried and laughed as we hugged, and I threw my arms around Derek too. Thankfully, Ryder still hadn't returned to school, and I started hanging out with Derek. I also apologized to Melissa.
Rapunzel, I was so affected by what you said that I confronted my mom. She didn't pay for me to get those roles. but someone did, and I have no idea who.
I do! It was Ryder! He did it because he wanted to turn me against everyone close to me. But I never should have doubted you. A few days later, I just put some stuff in my locker when I turned around to see Ryder.
Hi, Amber. Did you miss me?
You wish, and don't think you can ever bully me or scare me again. I don't care what you know, you can't use it.
Wow. What a transformation from the chicken girl I last saw. But yeah, I just came to tell you that I've lost all interest in you. Seems like you really lowered your standards when you settled for my brother. And I don't date trash.
He walked away, and I realized I'd been holding my breath. But minutes later, I heard loud voices down the hallway, and I ran to see Ryder smashing Derek against the lockers and beating him up. It took 4 teachers to pull Ryder away as he screamed like a maniac.
You want everything I have, don't you? You always have, you little worm. Do you think I'd let you be happy? I'll ruin your life, Derek. You'll regret the day you ever crossed me.
Derek went home early, and I was completely shaken by the day's events. Later that night, I was having trouble sleeping, and I heard a loud tap on my window. I sat up in horror, only to realize it was Derek. Gosh, you scared me! How are you feeling now?
I can't feel my face, but my heart's happy. I just had to tell you. Ryder went completely bonkers at home too, and my parents have admitted him to an institution for therapy.
That's such a relief. I'm sorry you got hurt because of me, Derek.
Don't be! I'd take 100 punches for you. Well, not 100, but you know what I mean. And Ryder's right about one thing. I've wanted to be with you since I first saw you.
He leaned in and kissed me, and it was lovely. We graduated from high school and both went to the same college in another city. Right after graduation, Derek and I got married in a small ceremony with our parents. Ryder was apparently out of the institution now and managing his dad's company in Europe. But of course, he wasn't invited. And a year later, we were blessed with a beautiful baby girl, Sarah.